Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. Man, I hope my team they won. I hope my team they won. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, episode 714. This is the Indy Report. And I have Tariq Wilson and Jeffrey Johnson. Gentlemen, Mr. Tariq, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing surprisingly well. How about you?
Well is relative for me, my man. Well is relative. I've been on to Maine for a couple days at this point. I've been on to Maine.
I've been philosophical about this. I don't a saying. Can I get real nerdy after you talk to Jeff? I can tell you how I'm approaching this situation.
That's fine, Mr. Johnson. How you doing, sir?
You know what? It's like I haven't got my butt whooped in about almost 11 years. And last night, last weekend, Howard took it to us. And I'm gonna tell it to you like this. I was expecting for it to come slow, but they went right to it, man. You know, they ain't even ease that thing in. They beat up.
Yeah, I promise you, sir, gentlemen. Yeah. Y'all didn't want to switch places with me. It was 17-0 in the first quarter. We had two safeties in the first quarter.
Woo!
Yeah, dope.
Yeah.
Philosophy, Rick.
Oh, okay. So I like to read about stoicism. So I like to practice some of the tenets of stoicism. There's something called the trichotomy of control. So that means there's three control situations. Things you have 100% control over, things you have a little bit control over, things you have no control over. So the things you have no control over, you don't worry about at all. So I have no control over whether Hampton got that football conference. So sorry for the cussing. So I've decided to not worry about it. That's how I'm approaching this.
Listen, man, when you're talking 60 straight points consecutive years. Now, granted, we've beaten the school down the road pretty bad. Like the last time we had our streak of beating those guys, they had 10 scoreless quarters. 45-0, 54-0. They finally scored in 2021. And then the streak started in 2022. Erica made sure she made an appearance in here. She made sure to make it. I'm sorry, AJ. We have to talk about it. It's unfortunate. Like, this is the Indy Report. But we will talk about it. What happened?
Yeah, what happened? Like,
I wish I could do the Jim Moore speech. like our other partner in crime, Brandon King, did. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't stop nobody. We had two safeties in the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was bad.
That when he said we couldn't do diddly poo?
Couldn't do diddly poo. Yes. Yeah. Couldn't do diddly poo. Yeah. But I will I'm gonna go ahead and run through the intro and then we'll do some news. I want to hold off the FCS playoff proposal until Brandon gets here. I'm gonna get Brandon till after the break. Welcome to episode 714 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the stories of HBCU's athletic programs and the business of the HBCU sports. I'm your host, David L. Rhodes. Brandon King is temporarily on assignment, but we also have Jeffrey Johnson and Tariq Wilson from the HU Pirate Ship. We are filming live from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOH 12:30 a.m. studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, Ralph Cooper, in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. Now, listen, man, A&T Roy, I told you to take a break. Take a break, buddy. Take a break. I need you to take a break. I love you. You're my guy. Outside brother, through and through. I need you to take a break. Take a break. Can't.
That's the biggest lie I ever seen. Lucky.
Nah. You probably can luck your way to 10 points, to 12 points, 17 points. You can't luck your way to 62. I'm sorry. 62 points is a lot. Nah, and it could have been worse. I guess I'll
That's
go with
what
my
I heard.
game.
I heard they could have hung 80 on y'all. That's what folks were saying.
That's a fact. That's a
Dang.
fact. They put their second string quarterback in the first quarter. They put him in for a little bit.
No, they didn't.
They did. They put it back. Like, folks weren't paying attention, but I was. They put it back up, but he came out. He came in, then he came back out. You know, they rotated with the backup, and then they put the backups in permanently after the third quarter.
Oh boy.
It was bad. The game was out of hand. Like, we got it within, like, we were down 17-0. Then it was like 24-0, and we got it down to 17 at the half. But then it got ugly. It was just their offensive line, and I knew the offensive line was huge. But I said this last week, the key to us beating them boys down in Durham was that we had to be able to win up front, and we could not win up front. And it was clear. Could not run the ball, could not win up front. But KJ White returned. He came in, he started, he went 10 for 16 for about 200 yards. So he did all right. He did pretty well. All right, let me pull the stat sheet up. He did okay considering. And while watching the game, it didn't look like he was doing well, but he overall did a pretty good job from that standpoint. So shout out to him, because to come back from breaking his leg right before the spring game to be able to play, that's props to him. Mm-hmm. And he did a pretty good job considering. He was rusty. But you know, he did a pretty good job with regards to that. So shout out to him for that. But it was bad. It was bad. Yeah. This was the thing that did, like, I kid you not. After the second safety, I started thinking about Maine.
Were it like snaps over somebody's head? Like how?
So,
kind of safety
so the first safety
wasn't a punt or something.
The first safety was no. The first safety was they hiked the ball over KJ White's head, and he made the smart decision to get the ball out of bounds. So that was the first safety. The second safety, KJ went back to pass, and he threw to nobody. It might have been a situation where either the wide receiver ran the wrong route, or KJ thought he was supposed to be somewhere and he wasn't. But there was nobody in the vicinity of the ball. He was in the pocket. He threw the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's intentional grounding, automatic safety.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so it was 765 yards, AJ, which was almost an FCS record. That's how much yards they gave up on us. To put it in perspective, in the 3 games that A&T played, we got about 800 yards. So they pretty much got all of that in one game. That was bad. Defensively, we didn't play well at all. It was rough. I was there. So, and Twitter caught me there. So I was there. I was at the Hampton game, and I was at the school down the road game. I went to both games. I stayed in town. I went home to South Carolina to go see my parents. I came back to Greensboro that Thursday afternoon. So I was there for both events. I did BCSN game time with my boy Roy. Shout out to him. I did that Saturday, so you got to check out Aggie Eagle. So now it was good. It's just it sucks that it wasn't much of a game, but it is what it is. You know.
It looked good.
Oh no, yeah, we had over 17,000 people, but y'all had more than us. Y'all had over 18K at Howard Hampton. So what happened with y'all, man? Because I was at the other game. So what happened with y'all? What happened?
What, the Howard game?
Yes. Because you didn't want to say Howard Hampton, so it obviously was the Howard game. Yes.
You know what? I felt like, well, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the game, so I really can't tell you. Like, I knew I was like, I'm not as. I've been a fan of this program since the CIAA days, and this was the first one. This is the second one that I actively did not watch, and the other one was the Prunty game too, which is 2 years ago, which we were down and we came back because me and Reek were both shocked at that one. It's like I did not want to be privy to watching somebody get bludgeoned to death, and that's what I felt like it was going to happen before the game, and a lot of people felt that way too. So I didn't watch it, and from a lot of my friends that went to the game, they said walking into Audi Field felt like walking into a funeral before the game started. They knew it. So, yeah. So I can't really tell you what. I only can just tell you based upon stats. It just did not look good.
I watched it.
Ooh. You know what?
You say it like that, man.
It was like watching Face Stuff, wasn't it? Remember that back when we was kids?
Yeah, here's no shade to Howard, right? Like, it shows how bad. No, what's the word? How we're just not good because Howard, they didn't do anything crazy. They just ran the ball, passed the ball. It wasn't like, oh, this is a great team. It's like, yo, we are so fundamentally unsound.
Yeah.
We are like always in the wrong gap,
Yep.
underthrowing the ball,
Yep.
getting the stupid penalty, all that. So it's like Howard just played football. And that's what we said. We said they're a better coach. They just gonna play football.
Yeah.
That's it. There was nothing. That's what made it all of. That's where I said, all right, we're just not good. I'm not gonna get pissed over this. It's just not good.
Well, here's the thing for me, because you guys had much higher expectations for this team than I did for A&T. Like I was concerned that if we didn't win either Tennessee State or against you guys, that we could legitimately go winless, legitimately, right?
Yeah.
But I like what I saw coming out of the opener with Tennessee State. We should have won that game.
Yeah.
And then we played Central Florida, lost all our quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then we somehow pulled that miracle off against you guys.
Yeah.
But going into the game against the school down the road, I was just hoping it was going to be a closer game than what we got, and it ended up being the same margin as last year. I mean, but KJ White came back 10 for 16, 232 yards, one touchdown in the air, one rushing touchdown, and he had an interception. But I'm not gonna beat him up on that. We just could not get the rushing offense going at all in that game. And the school down the road could do whatever they wanted.
Absolutely.
Whatever they wanted, because we could not get to the quarterback.
Yeah. Did it look like a talent gap? Were they executing better, or when you line players up man for man, did they just look?
They were more talented than us.
They got tight ends. They got running backs.
They were more talented than us. Like, and they're a really good football team. I mean, they got to worry about whether or not they're going to lose that kid Morgan, Chris Mosley, the running back, who made ESPN, by the way.
He's a
because he got a helmet sticker.
He's a stud.
Oh no, he's legit. And I knew that. And I knew that going in.
I haven't thought about that.
No,
I haven't thought about that.
He's a truth. Now, I would say on our end, this is probably the first time Coach Prunty is probably laughing. Like, I told y'all. Because you know why? All them players he brought in, where are they? Gone. See, and this is the first thing that me and Rick didn't even think about. Like, we were so spoiled with the amount of talent he brought in that we figured that it's like, all right, they're gone. We'll re-up. We did not re-up. We re-upped with some kids that couldn't barely beat Elizabeth City. So this is the first time, like, we lost both linemen, one to Marshall, one to Coastal Carolina. We lost a legit pass rusher last year in Richard Kramer to Georgia State. Then we lost a legit defensive lineman to, where was that guy at now?
App State.
Yeah, App State. We lost
another one to Virginia Tech.
Yep. We lost our receiver and Brendan Ridley, gone. Where was he at? Bowling Green. Eddie George. We lost our center, Tyler Weinberger, and Guan Price from Norfolk State. So these are all Prunty guys.
We lost a cornerback, safety to Liberty.
Yep.
We lost another cornerback to Temple.
Yep.
We lost another defensive tackle to Elon.
Yep.
I mean, we just got raided. And another guy. We lost somebody else. I mean, it was the quarterback. We lost him to Stony Brook. I mean, everybody wasn't sad to see him go, but
I want him back now. Sorry.
We got raided.
No. Mr. can't throw a screen pass. I'll take him back now.
Oh, Chris Ellis? Oh, the player of the year. He was like the player of the week last week. That Chris Ellis for Stony Brook. He is balling for Stony Brook right now, man. And we got to see him, unfortunately, later this season.
And you know what, though?
In Stony Brook.
And you know what? I mean, it's not so. If you think about it in those terms, I'm surprised we beat Elizabeth City, to be honest. So,
No, that's how it looks. But here's
and
one
that's
thing. Here's one thing I've noticed, and someone mentioned this on the Facebook group with the Pirates. Like the portal is changing, at least for Hampton. Their
yeah,
theory was because
yeah,
of and this is going to happen to A&T
yeah,
because we're playing and getting more exposure, right?
yeah.
So MEAC schools, there still is like a stigma attached to it, right?
They don't want them, baby.
So right, unless you are
Winning.
in like a not can't miss player like Mosley,
Yeah,
the running back, like the running back they lost last year who's at UVA. Like you got to be the best player on the team. But
yeah.
for Hampton, man, like once you play the CAA, it's like, oh, you can block and tackle. You must have some skills. So like they will come take your freaking second string guy. Like,
But
Oh,
the thing that's wild, right? Like and I think everybody's got to, and I'm talking to my Aggies here when I say this. You got to understand that to build a program takes time, but to build a program, you have to have a coach there for a long period of time. Trey Oliver's been there for what, 7, 8 years at this point.
yeah.
So like that matters.
mhm.
So like, and I think it's easy to say, oh yeah, he's been there since 2019, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's easy to say, oh, we'll just do what everybody. No. It takes time. Like when Trey first took over the job at the school down the road, we shut him out in our opener. Beat them worse than what they've beaten us the last 2 times. Okay. So like you have to build that program and that takes time. So I say that to say you have to have some level of patience here. He's already outpunched the last guy's weight by getting a conference win.
Yeah.
So like so you gotta give him some brevity, some patience.
Oh, people are already mad at him. People already.
No, they from the mess that they put the other guy in, and they got the nerve to be mad at this guy, the new guy.
Not everybody, but let's just say some of the Aggie chats got me to the point where I'm not responding because it's not worth my time. It's just not worth my time.
Are these chats that know that he's a new coach? Because sometimes Hampton people they be complaining they don't even know what the coach is. They be like, "Yo, it's his first game."
I think sometimes we have unrealistic expectations of what you get. Like I came into this season saying I want to get a conference win or 2. I already got one. All right, and our best chance to get another one is probably this weekend, even though it's not going to be easy.
Who you got? This with Maine, right?
Yeah, and don't let the record fool you guys.
Oh no, we know. We
definitely they're good. Like, they're good.
Y'all ain't winning that game.
I don't know, man. They lost to Stonehill at home.
They did.
They lost to Stonehill at home.
Ooh,
but they played William and Mary close, and they had 2 FBS programs.
Oh.
So I'm not saying it's not a realm of possibility, but we're 15-point dogs in that game. We're 15-point underdogs. All right. But I think part of that is because of how bad we got beat last week. Like I think we'll probably cover, but I think it's gonna be like I'm driving up to Maine. I'm leaving my house at 8:00 in the morning to get to Maine probably around 1:00.
Yeah.
And our kickoff's at 3:30. So I plan on going to the game in Maine on Saturday. Me and my son gonna go. Then we're gonna head to Foxborough on Sunday. So it's gonna be pretty good football type of weekend.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting to see how that game goes. But that's our best shot. We got Maine. We're at Maine, at William and Mary, back home for the greatest homecoming on earth. We got a bye. Then we play Campbell. Then we play Townsend. Then we got to go to Stony Brook. Then we come back home against Monmouth, which that's not a good choice for a senior day.
My God, that Monmouth is
yo, man.
Machine, man. They will put 70 on anybody.
And
they'll score
that offense is different than
28
Monmouth.
points in a quarter.
They don't care either. They'll run it up with a minute left.
Now Monmouth's offense is different, man. I saw some of the houses what they did to Villanova.
Yeah,
their offense is different.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the Hampton game before we take our first?
I would say a lot of our alumni, and this is the problem with what we have in the Tidewater, is that they don't know anything. So immediately the message boards blew up. Oh, get rid of the coach, get rid of the AD, get rid of everybody. Not even knowing that the coach he's a new coach. You know, he just suffered a huge loss with the loss of players in this program. And I mean, I'm gonna be, and to his credit, you know, I don't think he knew what. I mean, he probably knew what was coming in. It probably was going to take a minute, but at least give this guy some credit or some patience, because last year with the players that we had, we were very competitive, and he's shown that he has the temperament and he has the coaching know-how to be competitive in the conference. Now, some of those assistant coaches he got on staff, another story. Another story. And I think he's going to have to root out some of these young kids that have come into the program that have that undisciplined style, undisciplined behavior that is not, I would say, is not applicable to Hampton. You know, we don't have guys who consistently talk after the whistle, or guys who go on other sidelines and create mischief. That's just never been a Hampton issue, and he's going to have to get those guys either under control or out of the program.
Speaking of that,
they moved somebody out of the program. Good segue.
Yeah,
Somebody got moved out of the program for us.
Smart.
Yeah,
come on, man.
he
You know what's hurting us? Or was it Freeman?
Yo,
I'm
you
not
said
saying
it. You
him,
said it out there.
but he just
Stand
not.
on it.
He's
Stand
not
on it.
playing well. He's not playing well.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's the system. I don't know if it's the coaches. Because
No,
you know what I said, Jeff, when we first got him, I talked to a
yeah.
CIAA
Yeah.
defensive coordinator. He said, "You got a good one."
he
So
was one of the best quarterbacks in that conference.
yeah. So what
And like
the
shout
hell?
out to my man Gerald Huggins. He was on that staff when Isaiah Freeman was still there. He's at Morgan now. But he said he was one of the best. He was probably the best quarterback in the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's wrong? What's up, man?
You know what? Though? It's like if you watch his highlights and some of the games that he played, it's like, yeah, he was good for D2 ball, but watching him, like, no, he had a hell of a game again at A&T, you know, running and passing. So it's there. I just don't know how they can get the best out of this guy. You know, some of these, like the routes that, I mean, some of these passing combinations that you see, whether it's like he does well on drag routes, bubble screens, that's his game. And you can't do that every play. You know, you ask him to do like a medium route, a 10-yard, a 15-yard route, you know, he's throwing over that kid's head. You ask him to throw a long, a deep route. Those routes do not work. But if he's able to get out on the edge, run the ball, that's his thing. And I think it works for these little rinky-dink programs that we're playing now. But when we got Elon coming up,
I got Elon this week.
I don't want to see that game. I don't want to see
yeah,
it.
yeah, we got
And
Elon,
we're at Elon.
at
Oh,
Elon,
y'all gonna get to see the Fire of the Carolinas. That's the
and
name of the band.
Elon
Oh,
make Elon's gonna make a statement on that.
oh man. Yeah, I want to see that.
So, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the offense kind of feels like Fisher Price or like the Model T. And the defense, I feel like, does well, but you have way too many high emotional kids on who cannot keep their hands to themselves. If it's a 3rd down and 10 or a 3rd down and 15, we're going to give it to them, even if the pass is incomplete, because of poor discipline, whether it's a pass interference, a roughing the passer, or some sort of penalty that's costly.
So, yeah, that's tough. All right, I need to take the first break. When we come back, I want to talk about this proposal that came by that got briefed to the FCS commissioners involving the FCS playoffs. I want to broach that up because it's going to be pretty fascinating. So we'll be right back after this first break.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For over 30 years, HBCU Independents has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Independents, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
College football fans, the Cricket Celebration Bowl is celebrating 10 years of crowning an HBCU national champion. A champion will rise at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on December 13th as the MEAC and SWAC champions clash in Atlanta. Join us for championship football, interactive fan experiences, and iconic marching bands. It's an HBCU family reunion that you don't want to miss. See who will be crowned the next HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit the Celebration Bowl.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, episode 714. This is the Indy Report, and we have a man that's no longer on assignment. Brandon King, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just stay safe. That's all I'm asking.
Hey, yeah, don't look down, man. Don't
look down. So I'll try my best not to get you distracted too much. We already talked about the funerals, so you ain't gotta belabor all what we've already gone through.
Tennessee State must not have played this past weekend.
They did not play this week.
But they kicked a bunch of MAGA people off their campus.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Yes, that was that. I'm doing a whole segment on that tomorrow. On MD. Yeah, that was well, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful what I say nowadays, man. I got an email from my job. I gotta be careful what I be talking about. But either way, you too, Brandon. Either way, neither here nor there. So a private equity firm pitches taking the FCS Football Playoffs private, man. So basically in a nutshell, Sequence Equity presented a plan to privatize the FCS College Football Playoff to a group of FCS commissioners at the Conference Commissioners Association in Chicago on Tuesday. They could extract more value from the FCS postseasons at a time where schools nationwide are looking for new ways to make money to compete in the revolutionary era. And the thing is, man, even they had an AD pretty much said they lose money. There's an AD that's made playoff runs, FCS playoff runs. So it's but I think it's always been a known thing that most of the schools in the FCS that make the FCS playoffs do lose money in the endeavor. However, but with the ratings, what they have been for FCS playoff games, FCS National Championship actually outrated the Celebration Bowl this year. So when you take all those things into account, we'll go around the room. We'll start with Brandon since he's returned. What are your thoughts on this, Brandon?
wow, that is landscape altering. I'm honestly, I feel like it could be. We're just a couple things as I was listening to you. Could be one more thing. Be for college sports to be even more less amateurish and have more aspects of professional leagues. And then with this being privatized, my concern is it going to further the gulf between the haves and the have-nots? And my concern is that we could see our schools potentially getting the short end of the stick in this.
Well, it's interesting you say that, only because of the fact that you have three schools that are not in the MEAC and the SWAC, and you're looking at them right here on the show. So it's curious to see how that's going to affect the MEAC and the SWAC from that standpoint. But I don't think it's a coincidence that once the Ivy League made the decision to go into the FCS playoffs, now the ball's starting to roll a little bit more. So, what are your thoughts, Jeff?
You know what? I would say anything that could bring exposure to FCS, I'm definitely there for. I do feel that it is an opportunity for, I would say, struggling brands to become more visible. But I also kind of got the feeling that with new equity, with new corporations involved, that they're going to kind of want to see who they want in there. And we could get pushed out of this thing, based upon, I mean, if it's up to a committee, then, it's possible if we're competitive, but I am a little bit nervous about certain aspects of it, everybody getting a fair slice of the pie. But, I do feel that A&T and Hampton, are really good brands, and if very competitive, will be like really awesome in FCS, and will probably be very marketable for some of these programs, for corporations when it comes to being vying for viable spots within the playoff system. I'm for it. I am a little bit. I am for more business coming into our program. I am for more eyeballs and more marketing, but I'm also a little bit nervous about the unknown, and that to me is something that I would need to hear more about.
And this is an interesting take too, or interesting thing. I'm gonna get Brandon back in here. You got the echo going, but the interesting thing is the Celebration Bowl contract hasn't been extended past 2027, which is when they think that if the private equity firm does get involved in the FCS playoffs, then this will be when this will be also it'll be 2027 when that would begin. So it's not an accident that this falls the way that it falls. Now I don't think considering the money that those the winners and the participants of the Celebration Bowl get, it's got to be really good enough for them to warrant not walking away from this bowl game from a MEAC and SWAC perspective. So Reek, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it sounds good on paper, right? It's just you got to be wary of private equity. Kind of like what Jeff says. Now it's really just about making sure that the shareholders get a return on their investment. So that's primary goal. Once they invest, then they got to get their cut. So it's not always, about the pure athletics at this point. So yeah, long as there's some protections in there to make sure we don't get the short end of the stick, and that these investors, when they done, because usually when they done and they pull out for it, then you're in trouble. So you just gotta watch. I'm sure they think about that, but there's plenty of stories about once they get in and then they kind of suck the profits out, then they move on. So we just got to make sure that there's some protections in there for the schools.
Well, they would have a minority stake.
Okay.
At the beginning. So that's one positive aspect of it. But them not having a majority stake. because that and the FCS commissioners would own the FCS conferences would own the rest. So it'll be interesting to see if this goes. But the folks that are involved in this are Princeton grads. I think, and I go back to what I just said. I think the Ivy League getting involved in FCS playoffs. I don't think it's a coincidence that now they're getting interest at a private equity level, because that's the Ivy Leagues. That's their bread and butter, man. They the hedge funders. They're the equity folks. So private equity lane. So this is what they like to do. So the article came up, and I was like enthralled by it. Like I was just fascinated by the fact that this was happening, type of thing. And besides, I mean, we both got our behinds taken to us on Saturday, so nice little different topic to discuss. And Brandon got off easy; he ain't had to worry about nothing because he's on a bye.
Hey, I did want to respond to a comment that Erica Lee, and
Was it this one?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. It's like sometimes you have a younger sibling who's striving to beat the older sibling, and they actually improve their standings. I think that's Howard. I mean, they've been trying to catch us for years, and they finally caught us. So that means we gotta do better. But y'all can thank us for helping y'all strive to be the best y'all can be.
Absolutely.
The
Remember,
rivalry never
remember
ends.
before, remember before he said, "Oh, we're academic school. We don't care about athletics." Remember all that, Jeff? All of
Oh,
me.
God.
We
Okay.
always,
Wait, you know what
whatever.
the wild thing is? Howard is legitimately investing in athletics right now. Like they are legitimately
You
Oh,
have to. You have to.
you have
getting
to.
it.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're not short on students. They're the second largest HBCU in the country. They're not short by any stretch of the imagination. They're
They
second.
they killing it. They kill. Now I'm still saying Morgan to me is still not.
Oh no, Morgan. If Morgan can figure out how to win championships, they out of there, man.
Yeah.
They're third. They're the third largest.
They on that trajectory. They like Morgan and to me are the two rising stars. They're gonna surpass FAMU.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh,
A&T was at the
right.
A&T was already at the top of the heap for a period. I mean, but shout out to FAMU. They're the public, the more public HBCU again for the 7th straight year. So shout out to them. I mean, I think that's an incredible achievement because the top 10 for the U.S. News and World Report came out. FAMU was number one. I think FAMU was number one for public HBCUs. I think they were like 5 overall. Spelman was 1. Howard was 2. Morehouse was 3.
7.
Yeah, A&T was 8.
Yeah.
And Morgan was 9. Delaware State was 10. Delaware State's another one.
Yeah, Delaware State.
Delaware State's another one, man. Like,
quietly, yeah.
But
don't let the Deshaun Jackson football success fool you. They've been on the trajectory before they hired him, but he's doing a phenomenal job right now in Delaware State right now.
Candace Owens got FAMU moving in the right directions.
see. Hey man, they've been number one HBCU. They've been number one public HBCU for 7 years, man. Academically, they sound. There's no question about that. I mean, only SWAC school in the top 10.
Oh no, really, MEAC school.
Well, my friend Erica said it best. All the Division I programs there were either was in the MEAC at some point.
Yeah,
which is true.
Yeah.
But FAMU's the only SWAC school. But I digress. I think it gets insane, but I'm curious to see what the MEAC is like. I really would love to know what they think about this private equity thing. And then I also would love to know why have we ever had the opportunity to do this? I know that some of us do play Ivy League opponents, and that's like your opportunities to rub shoulders or rub elbows, so to speak. But Howard does it often.
Yeah, I do want we played Princeton in a home and home, and
we got that too.
Yeah, we won both times, but it kind of felt like, all right, we didn't like it. And I think when we did play Harvard, I think a while back in basketball or something, they got into we're the real HU debate. We're like, stop. Stop.
We're going off money, man. They might
stop. It was like
no, it's funny because they played Howard too. Like Harvard and Howard played a couple times.
We're like, this is a family thing over here. Like, yeah, stop. But no, I do want to see what the format actually is going to look like. That to me would be something I want to see how it fleshes out. It's like I don't think you can get swackos, to give up on that the championship game and a celebration game. So
Yeah, I don't think the SWAC. I could see a world where the SWAC's already said their championship games more important than the celebration bowl. So, well, the commissioner made that comment a while back.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're not getting rid of that championship game. That's not happening.
I mean, the thing is, can they still keep the championship game and still, if they want to, compete in this new FCS playoffs?
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
All right. There's a couple challenges.
Yeah.
The first challenge is the Bayou Classic.
Oh.
The second challenge is maybe is the Bayou Classic anywhere seen? The other one is the Turkey Day Classic.
Yeah.
And then the Bayou Classic doesn't fit with FCS playoffs. So you got the Bayou Classic, you got the Turkey Day Classic, then you got the SWAC Championships. You got there's three games that they would have to consider either moving, and they're not going to move those games, man. I had a whole shout out to my man BJ Jones. I had a whole back and forth about it.
Those games constitute the bulk for some of their athletic revenue, so it's not gonna work.
Yeah, but that's only helping 5.
Oh,
they're all separate schools within the SWAC.
Think about it. If I'm Prairie View, if I'm Texas Southern, and if I'm Jackson State, I'm saying, look, you costing us, and I can see them ganging up on those other 3 little programs.
No, because the thing is, Jackson State could be in the SWAC championship. So then they can say, you're really costing us. It's the last game of the year, right? If Jackson State wins the East, they go to the championship. And right now, Prairie View is probably going to walk through the West. So, Prairie View is going to be part of the issue. I think the big dilemma that they have is that they can still get an at-large bid in the FCS playoffs right now, but unless they have a team that looks really good and they just don't win their division, you're not going to see that. Now, that's just the reality of it.
If they lose the SWAC championship, but the playoffs would have already started, correct?
Well, here's the thing, right? So a school like Jackson State, let's say Jackson State had a strong out-of-conference schedule. They won their games in the out-of-conference schedule, but they didn't win the East. They got clipped by Alabama State or they got clipped by FAMU or somebody, right? Yeah. If they have a strong enough, if they end up with 9 wins, they would have a strong argument to go into the FCS playoffs. If they got 9 FCS wins, they would have a strong argument to go into the FCS playoffs. And then they would be able to play because they're not in the Bayou Classic, they're not in the Turkey Day Classic. Yeah. So they could get a slot. That's what happened with FAMU a few years back. Yeah. They didn't win the SWAC. They didn't win the East. So they didn't play in the SWAC championship. So they got an FCS playoff bid. Yeah. But those are hard to get. And I think they're going to be harder now with the Ivy League entering because they're taking a spot, an at-large spot away because they get an auto bid.
How many slots are they giving up? Was it 12?
There's 24 slots right now.
It's 24.
Oh, it's 24.
There's 24 places. There's 24 slots, but every conference champion is an at-large bid, is with the exception of the MEAC and the SWAC and the Ivy League right now. Well, no, not anymore. So it's just the MEAC and the SWAC now. But it used to be the MEAC, the SWAC, and the Ivy League don't get the auto bid. They can get at-large bids.
Okay.
So then the remaining slots are at-large bids.
Hold on. So they don't get any bids. They don't have anything cemented.
The MEAC and the SWAC gave up their automatic bid when they made the decision to go to celebration. Now, supposedly they asked them every year if they wanted, but you can't because you got the Celebration Bowl, and the MEAC champion and the SWAC champion has to go to the bowl game. It's in the contract.
Yeah.
So the at-large bid goes to the champion.
So okay, but so the second place MEAC team can get an at-large bid.
Yeah, and it happened before. The school down the road got it when Howard went.
Okay. All right. I mean that's fine, but my thing is, that's fine.
Brandon's over here shaking his head, man. How you feeling over here, man? Let me unmute you real fast. Oh, I can't unmute you. You did it on your own device. You got to do it, man. So you out here taking risks. I was trying to control it for it, trying to be safe.
I can see a lot of FCS folks getting jealous of the Celebration Bowl. I know they do. I've heard they're.
Oh, they are. No, they go to the game.
Yeah.
The commissioners go to the game.
Yeah. So no, they
and not just like rinky dink commissioners. Big Sky.
Yeah.
The Valley, CAA. They've been to that game. They know what it is.
Yeah.
And they understand the importance of it.
If they could get that in the FCS format, they would love that. So
if JSU don't make it to the SCG, will they be selected? Nah, because they didn't. Who they beat? Unless Hampton gets good all of a sudden.
No.
Because right now it doesn't like the biggest win they got out of conference right now is Hampton.
That Hampton bid is going to look like playing Livingstone right now. I mean, that's like, they done got Livingstone money off of it.
Erica has questions about Jackson. Let me bring Brandon back in. Erica got questions about Jackson State because it's like, yo, we just beat the brakes off of Hampton. Why were you guys struggling against them? Why would it take to the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Brandon? I saw you shaking your head a lot, so I just want to get you in where you fit in, so to speak.
I was just really just taking it all in. Like I said, with the privatization, I have some concerns about how it will potentially affect us, and with you bringing out that the Ivy League is now taking up that their champions taking up their auto bid, that's potentially one less slot for one of our schools. But I don't want to poo-poo on the whole affair just yet. I want to read up about it a little more before I fully go into it. But any time extra, private money's coming in, and like the point has been raised, they're not putting this money in out of the goodness of their heart. So they want an ROI, and if they're not getting it, they're gonna do what they have to do. But I'm watching with bated breath. I'll just say it like that.
I think when you look at what has been going on, like, so we know that Grambling and Jackson State is playing in that Las Vegas Classic in next month. And you know who else got to deal with that same stadium with the Raiders? You know who else got to deal? Elijah Stadium. They do a Las Vegas Classic of their own. 4 FCS programs. $1.25 million a team. They're going to play a game in 2026 and they're going to play a game in 2027.
Sheesh.
All right. So I say all that to say it's obvious that money is starting to come into the FCS fold. And it's obvious that some of these FCS programs are starting to say, you know what, we need to start playing some of these classic games too. And they're getting bigger checks than what our HBCU counterparts are getting. Because when the article came out about, I think North Dakota State's involved in that one, and a couple other Montana, a couple of the bigger schools. And when I asked the question, what is Grambling and Jackson State getting for this game? Is it $1.25 million? I'm just curious. I just want to know. But to go back to the discussion about if there's any potential at-large bids, I don't agree with you, AJ. I don't know. Alabama A&M's got the same problem as Jackson State, even though they did pretty well in out-of-conference play overall. But like Tennessee State's got to show something. They got to show something. Like, it's about the strength. It goes back to strength of schedule. Now, Delaware State is fascinating, even though I don't know how good Albany's going to be in conference play. But they're 3-1 right now, man. They got 2 FCS wins. And they're probably going to end up with 3 at the end of this weekend. They play Sacred Heart. Yeah. So, like, if they keep this rolling, Delaware State, if they don't win the MEAC, could potentially get an at-large bid.
Absolutely.
They could get it. They could do it. Howard could do it too. Yeah. Because if they are competitive in the MEAC and they miss it by a game, they got. And if FAMU is, we'll see. FAMU is better than what I think they are. They could potentially get one. School down the road, I think maybe. No,
well, they just got beat down by New Hampshire, right?
Yeah, they got beat down by New Hampshire, and they beat Fayetteville State, and they beat us. So they got to root for us, and I know they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
South Carolina State got an interesting shot too. But I think we talk about these 4 teams. These are probably the 4 contenders for the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it, right? We've been watching the playoffs for the second place team out of the MEAC and SWAC cannot win a playoff game.
Absolutely.
Can't.
Absolutely.
Can't. Either the first place, and it's not because of talent, it is a different brand of football. Like early in the season, people
You talking
still
about on the three? I know.
trying to get their stuff
You
together. But
told
by the
me.
time you
I hadn't
get
seen
to
the
the
footage yet
playoffs,
though.
you're out of shape for that kind of football. Like
I would say
it's
this,
just
Hampton, we played when I think when A&T won. This was back in what 98 or
99.
99, and we went up to play UConn up there, and we ended up losing by 6. And that loss is based upon what we always talk about, me and Tariq passing to the tight end. We could not figure it out. You know, they ran 2 tight end sets, 2 tight end formations. Basically that New England style offense where they basically just put tight ends out in space and we couldn't figure it out. And these are the type of things I would say that I wouldn't say plague our programs, it's just different scheme fits.
yep.
Like they're used to our speed. They're like, okay, yeah, they're fast. You know, all you gotta do is stand in front of them. They ain't going nowhere. So that it's like for us, always about trying to figure out or just making changes, you know, on the fly, which never works.
All right, I gotta get ready to close. Any last thoughts before we close this bad boy out? You got anything else, Brandon, before we close out, sir?
No, good discussion as always. Everybody, be sure to tune in every week.
Every week. And you know, who are y'all playing? Hampton's playing Elon. Who is Tennessee State playing?
We've got Tech.
Tennessee Tech?
Yep.
Oh dear.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, they yeah, we definitely got our work cut out for them. Look, they scored more points last week than we have all season. So yeah. And
it's in Nashville. Is that home?
We got 8 home games this year.
Are y'all playing at Hale or y'all playing at the Titans?
No, they're still playing at the Nissan Stadium. Hale requires a lot of repairs.
Demolition.
Yeah. They're doing some work. Like the press box is it's unsuited to be used. So I mean I
police
think
tape on it.
yeah, I talked to some media who worked the last game. They had to cover the game from the hill because they couldn't use the press box.
No.
So yeah, they're supposed to be.
Oh my
God! They're supposed to be doing some renovations over there to get some. Yeah, I'm coming in. I'm just parking the car. Yeah, you can. That's fine. Hopefully we'll see games over there. I won't say in the future. I'll just say it like that because they're working on some things with the track and they're trying to, get a soccer pitch put in over there as well. It's almost trying to turn it into a true multi-purpose facility.
Yeah. Yeah. I did hear that it's going to cost y'all a lot of money to play at the new stadium when they build it.
$300,000 a game, right?
What?
That's what I read. That's what I saw on Twitter. I don't know. Everything on Twitter ain't always true, but I saw $300,000 a game.
Playing at a high school stadium.
Yeah, and the wild thing is Tennessee State is such a big reason why they were able to get the public funding for that stadium, and so for them to charge them is if accurate is insane to me.
They could have at least pitched in to help you guys out with Hell Stadium.
And that's my thing, right? Like for those that don't know, I do a podcast. Matter of fact, I'm going live on my other podcast in 3 minutes. But my big thing about the NFL and the owners, man, is always most of their stadiums are 90. I think the only one that's not publicly funded was Jerry's stadium for Dallas because he chose to pay for it himself.
Yeah.
But everybody else is always publicly funded, and that's what they use as leverage to keep the NFL team there. And they use that every time. Charlotte just went through it every time. And if you don't bend the knee, they will move the team. They will just move it because there'll be another city that's willing to take it.
Ain't going
Another team. There's always another city that's willing to take it. All right, let me go ahead and close out the show. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I will look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Make sure you follow Brandon King at sneakersharptalk.com. Jeff and Big Reek, go to hupowership.com to check their stuff out. They do weekly shows. They yell, they scream, they celebrate, they're disappointed, they cry, they do all that. I'm all over the place. I got HBCU Nightly on Sundays that I pop in occasionally. I got MD on Thursdays. I got Panther Nation podcast where I cover the Carolina Panthers. I'm doing a live show within the next 2 minutes right now, but I want you guys to stay here for the ONG Strike Zone and talk to my man Brian with regards to that and what's going on with FAMU. They're going to brag about being the #1 public HBCU. They're going to brag about all the successes they're having. So you go ahead and watch that show and enjoy it, and make sure they understand that I'm not picking on them. I'm trying to give them props. Congratulations to them. I will throw the jabs when needed, but I'm not throwing the jabs tonight. All right. So dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you soon. Reed.
Of course.
Jeff.
Hook or line?
Lecture. Lecture. Brandon.
Dismissed.
Y'all have a good one, guys. We'll see you guys next week.